Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Lawmakers to vote on VAT, power devolution, and others. Violence mars Osun PDP ward delegates poll. Aregbesol's man asked court to void Oyetola's victory. Airlines lost $60 million to bird strikes in 1 year. Court orders forfeiture of 10 properties linked to Yari. And the IMF calls for banks' recapitalization. Okay, there are lots of stories. I actually wanted to take some of the constitutional amendment. I know it's all over the papers, but this is such an important period that I think all Nigerians must pay attention to what's going on. Remember, we're talking about this restructuring, the evolution of powers, state policing. It has come to the point where now the lawmakers have gone around the country. They have laid their report to the House yesterday. In fact, the president's wife came to show solidarity. Okay, that's your 68 recommendations on the women's bill also should be part of it. And I mean, and she was there in person to show you how important it is. So they've submitted it to the lawmakers. As we said yesterday, they're going to begin to vote next week, Tuesday, March 1st. It's such an important period because they're going to be voting on immunity for lawmakers, decentralization of railways, airports, electricity transmission, the mayor of Abuja, indigenship, diaspora voting, citizen rights, financial autonomy for House of Assembly. Even the members of the House of Assembly or National Assembly want to also be going to the next meetings. You know, there's so many things within this list that are so crucial to a democracy, because if some of them passes, it comes to the evolution of power that we're talking about, the restructuring we're talking about, we will get it. So it's important for all of us to pay attention. If you know your lawmakers, let's begin to start reviewing and tell them what you want, because when they vote next week, Tuesday, hopefully that will be the beginning of the restructuring that many of us seek in this country.
So the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has forfeited temporarily an interim order, give an interim order to temporarily forfeit, at least for 60 days. The order is supposed to last for 60 days. 10 properties belonging to the ex-governor of Zamfara State, including some in the U.S. and Abuja and other places, and including monies in the bank. Yes, that's all. Right.
Sorry, I distracted you. I'm sorry I distracted you. Go ahead.
Okay, so that's basically what it's about. But in 60 days, it's supposed to allow the ICPC enough time to complete their investigations. I'm hoping that they don't squash this investigation. Know that it's you people we are investigating.
So, sad story of, you know, there are going to be a lot of Congress, what do you call those, delegates Congress from different parties build up to the elections. And the one that took place in Osun PDP yesterday got bloody. 2 people got killed. A car got touched. The violence marred the PDP Delegates Congress in Osun State yesterday, and I believe these are avoidable deaths because thugs were paid by some politicians, and I need to say it clearly. Thugs were paid because no thug would go and burn a car without being paid. No thug would go and kill another person without being paid. Thugs were paid by politicians to attack and scuttle the process that should be smooth. And please, it is too early for us to start having these cases. I believe...
So unfair. Okay, it's worse than unfair. So do we hate ourselves so much that politicians are fighting do or die for offices that they're selfish about? It's not about the people. When are we going to stop this nonsense of being tools in their hands?
You see, that is my own problem. You are fighting for what exactly? Is it not to go and serve?
If it is really to serve, it's
not about to serve, it's about control.
You are not fighting to go and serve, you are fighting to go and chop.
Is there any other story there? Airlines? Somebody has that story?
No. I'll take another place.
Okay, let's move on quickly now to the Punch. Fire destroys Finance Ministry inverter room. Hoodlums guarded by cops, soldiers demolish structures in Lagos slum. Ogun pastor rapes member during deliverance from spirit husband. Federal government school feeding costs 100 naira per child. Scheme to gulp ₦1 billion daily. Court orders interim forfeiture of Jari's U.S. properties and others. Buhari signs electoral bill Friday. CSO suspend protest. Fuel scarcity persists as NNPC releases 387.6 million naira liters. Strike continues as SU insists in Gigi pleads with union. And current system suffocating Nigeria, says Kuka. Okay, which story are we taking there? YK?
The first story I'll take is the Ogun pastor. He said the Ogun State Police have arrested a Randy pastor, Mathew Oladapo. He had unlawful carnal with a 19-year-old member of his church. He had told the girl, he had seen vision. Look,
of a spirit husband.
Yeah, you have a spirit husband. So you have to come to the church and fast for 3 days. And when she came, he laid her, he gave her a room. She should just lie down here and she should lie naked. He came there on the first night and he started to rub anointing oil on her. And from anointing oil, he started to do the unthinkable.
Rubbing anointing oil on her.
Cover the mouth
and then the girl, very sensible, she just went to the police and reported him. So
I'm so happy. I think things are changing. For a young girl to know that the first thing I do is go straight to the police station. I'm so happy. It means that our information, our conversation on this rape issue is getting to
there. Because he was arrested and he said
he was arrested and he confessed.
Led by the spirit.
He was led by the
spirit to
so he must have been the spirit husband.
Yeah. But I go in school feeding program. Nima, you have that story.
I do. So the federal government has...
I don't know how you got to 100 naira. I thought it was 70 naira. Last I checked, it was 70 naira.
Yeah. 100 naira daily. I'm looking for the link. 100 naira daily per child to feed our children in school and 1 billion naira daily for all the schools covered. So we're looking at the total cost, and I'm worried that, you know, this is what the government is proposing as a way out. Of course, we know that school feeding was supposed to encourage enrollment of more children in school and help us reduce the out-of-school children numbers, but it's not been that effective because we still have a total number of out-of-school children increasing. We took that on Tuesday in the papers.
There are other factors.
A lot of other factors. And now there's failure of audits of these monies so far spent. They've not gained anybody's trust by doing this. We need to show proper auditing. Now maybe give it to an independent group to handle. You can't continue to be an employee of government handling this. There's also an issue of how do you balance 100 naira per child feeding. If you say the food contains food as well as protein, which is of course eggs or milk that you're using, there's an imbalance.
So actually, somebody told me about that analogy. Because you're getting from the source, the government is actually also the ones giving the poultry farmers are the ones giving the eggs, and there's a way they do it where they will. I think from that analysis,
standard.
Well, now it depends on what the new company did. But when somebody was talking about it, it was actually 17 naira that was agreed that was sufficient per child if they're going to use the state resources.
It makes sense because then they're creating employment for the farmers.
Yeah.
But then, who vets the quality of food? And why
gets the children.
That gets the children. And why is it not an external auditor that disburses the money so that we have proper accountability?
People don't just trust this government. I don't understand.
Maybe
we should have to look.
It's not a matter of
we don't trust the government.
It has nothing to do with government. It's ourselves. Maybe we are the people in government.
Exactly.
Who is in government?
So we should get.
Is it foreigners?
They say they have 10 billion children. They say they have 10 million children covered under this. We are spending 1 billion. We need the maths to clear. 2 plus 2 must be 4.
Let's tell China.
Something else.
Come on, let's list our government. No, it's true now because we don't trust. When government wants to do something, you don't trust them. So let us list government to China. Come and be our governance. No, it's true now. We don't trust government.
No,
they don't trust.
Why is it difficult?
We should
ask government any question.
Just turn everything upside down. And we will not allow you to turn it upside down.
We'll be right back. We'll go on a break.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we're going to take one more story in Punch.
Yes, so there is a slum apparently in Ikota opposite within the Etios local government, and this slum has some official proper residents. The area was demolished by hoodlums who were guarded by cops and soldiers. They demolished the structure. The youths within the area protested. They protested to the point of going to the Ogombo LCDA. Complaints have been made to find out what exactly happened, because the people that are living in those areas said that they had no official letter or they were not given any notice. And there was no paper that the hoodlums didn't come with any paper. The hoodlums just came to demolish, and the police and security people were protecting them while they were demolishing their own structures. The confirmation, they say OPC members have been patrolling the area to keep the area at peace. The Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motoshaw, confirmed that there must be that it's likely there's a dispute but the government is trying to settle it for them.
Okay.
While the government is settling, they've demolished the houses and those people are displaced.
And you said they gave them time to move their property. Not a long time. We're standing there, remove your property. But when the youth started protesting, they now say, okay, they now started demolishing with their property, and it was just really, really messy.
Daily Sun declares sponsors of terrorism wanted senators federal government. Niger governor preference for young president, that's 2023. Electoral bill Buhari to ascend tomorrow. Airlines deny 50,000 naira fare hike. Say operators lose 20 billion naira monthly over bird strikes. Methodist Bishop laments Leah Sharibu's continued captivity. Fuel scarcity and NPC distributes 387.5 million liters. Queues reduces. And strike, FG and ASU dialogue deadlocked. Okay,
so let's talk about Leah Sharibu quickly. A bishop of a Methodist church, Nigeria, and president of Vision for African radio station, Sunday Onoha, was lamenting while speaking at Michael Okwara Auditorium, Umaiha. It's a security sensitization program, and he spoke about the fact that terrorists have adopted Leah Sharibu since 2018 in Yobe State. And the cleric frowned at the situation that the young female student who was adopted is still in captivity. Abducted was still in captivity till date, and saying that, also mentioning other issues like the ASU strike and all of that, but the real lamentation is the fact that we must remember that Leah is still in captivity since 2018.
So. And Nigeria seems to have moved on. It's been a very long time. Poor innocent girl is there, but it seems that the country and the leadership have moved on. Let's take the major headline now, the constitutional review.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so we have about 68 amendments in the presently conducted constitutional reviews proposed already. Some of them will take in bits, but one of them is the immunity for Senate President and Speaker. So the House is also proposing an immunity for presiding officers of the National Assembly. The immunity under Section 308 only covers the President, Vice President, governors and deputy governors, and those are the only executive members covered. But now they have widened it to cover presiding officers of both houses. And this, for me, is overdue, because I don't know how to speak English. You see, it's overdue an abuse of this thing called immunity. It's no longer immunity. Because these people will now not be able to be brought under any criminal or civil investigations as well as prosecution while they are sitting in office. Or we're already having
a lot of abuse.
Feeling the disadvantage and the abuse of the other ones that we've done so far. We are looking to amend that, and now you're widening it to cover. I think it is wrong.
My own problem with it
was rejected.
Why do you want to? If you are not intending to be a criminal, why are you looking for immunity? I want to go there, do my work. I don't need immunity now. And if I'm not going to be doing anything, chopping money.
If you can be removed by House members without even an impeachment process like we think of, why do you think you need immunity? What's the clash with your office that you think? Because under the 308, the president are supposed, and those already covered by the immunity clauses to be protected from distractions while they are holding office to be able to carry out their work.
All right, let's move on to another story. Yes,
yeah, so airline operators, I think airline operators have been accused of ganging up to increase the price of tickets to 50,000 naira, and they're replying that no, they did not gang up. The truth is they have like 37 charges that the standard of 50,000 naira has been ongoing for a long time. That sometimes when they finish paying about the 37 charges that they pay to different agencies affiliated within the airport, what they have left from a ticket is 5,000 naira. And that airlines lose a lot of money. Explained all the charges, but I believe that the airline industry have been complaining. We, using the airline industry in Nigeria, we are complaining. I think that there should be a roundtable to have a proper conversation because it's essential for ease of movement.
They also complained that the airfare has gone up from 190, the jet fuel, sorry, has gone up from 190 to 430 per litre in the last 1 year. That's a big
leap.
All right, so the Senate yesterday also have asking the federal government to please list out those who are sponsoring terrorism.
Yes.
And this was by the lawmaker from Kebbi State. He was lamenting what's going on in his state. He said the bandits are moving in hundreds, village to village, house to house, in search of cattle to rustle and people to abduct. Some houses have been, residents have been totally burnt down, rendering them homeless without food to survive. He was just lamenting that women are raped, young ones are dehumanized, and we need them to name the sponsor so that can be prosecuted, because they've got to this issue of banditry and kidnapping has reached a level where they are kidnapping people in broad daylight. So it's no more we will do it, they will do it. It's now like name them and let us prosecute people so that we can stop this, this banditry that's going on in the States.
A wanted list. Put them on wanted list.
From the leaders of these guys, because they know the leaders, they know the names. Otitoju calling them, calls their names, he knows their names. So if he knows their names, who are the intelligence?
The DSS knows their names. So.
Vanguard, convention, APC governments, others stakeholders battle over party chair. Insecurity, declare all known leaders of terrorism. We talked about that. Scarcity, NNPC releases distribution details of the 387.5 million liters of petrol. Now that the petrol is out there, nobody's talking about petrol again.
I
see how
want
we're all
to
passing
take
it.
There is queue now.
Reps panel makes U-turn, proposes immunity for Senate President. Era of election rigging over, says INEC. Bad fuel, our imported product met Nigerian specification, says Duke Oil and Oando. Welfare, IGB orders distribution of uniforms, kits, orders to all police personnel. And Buhari to sign electoral bill tomorrow. Okay.
Let me take NNPC now. So NNPC says that they have released 387.59 million liters of PMS to shore up, you know, the deficit that we have, and that will help clear the queue. But according to the Punch report on it, scarcity still persists, and this is because some oil marketers are focusing on them, on their, what's it called, their own branches, or how do I put it? They're looking at the depots are supplying directly to their own people first. But also in this same report, the House of Reps summoned the oil marketers who supposedly brought in the methanol the blended product. NNPC named them. They said there were 4 of them, and they named them in this report. And they include the MRS, Oando, Duke Oil, and MT Bao Pioneer, I think. But Oando and Duke Oil went before the House of Reps, and they insisted that the NNPC approved this dirty fuel that, you know, when their own is to supply it, that the NNPC approved it. So I think they just pushed the burden of the responsibility of that back to that. While we are at it, those affected can do a civil action. They should already have started it against the NNPC and these 4 oil marketers as all depots as parties.
Yeah,
that
we need to defend them.
If they want to pay me, all
right. So I have great news, because I've been one of my issues in this with the Nigerian police has been that they are uniform. So I was so excited to read this paper, this article. So the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Kali Baba, has ordered immediate distribution of uniforms, kits, and accoutrements, which the force recently procured to all the various zones across the country. Now this is going to be to members of the Inspectorate, non-commissioned officers, NCOs, constables, cadets in police force, and it's going to be a quarterly distribution that's going to be done. And this was in line with this reform that we're asking for the Nigerian police. I don't like the color. I'm hoping it's the blue color that they're sending.
No, it's the black.
How do you know?
It's the same black.
How do you know?
It
might be blue. You never know.
Change it to the blue.
It might be blue. You just never know.
They've changed the uniform. It's not more
They have the blue and black camo, like the military for the Joint Task Force. They have.
So the Inspector General has charged the police to imbibe the habits of proper and clean out, you know, just proper welfare and cleanliness.
It's just
of
part
uniforms.
of the mismanagement of this country. You know, the uniform originally was blue. When I was growing up, it was blue.
Wow.
You thought black would be easier to maintain. That's why they changed to black.
I don't understand. Maybe they wanted them to be dirty. I don't understand. They just, because they wasted a lot of money in changing all those blue uniforms to black, and now we're going back to blue.
Well, whatever it is, my own is that I'm happy
when they change it to black.
that the police is still, they are paying attention, because we focus on a few of them who complain that they have to buy their own uniforms themselves.
Yes,
so this is really, really exciting to know that the police have finally they found a budget. It's not in their budget. So every quarter they distribute to this police officer. That's
so they
great
can
news.
look better.
They can
I
look
just hope
better.
it gets to the lower kids.
Please, I need to just quickly, before we run off, Daily Trust had a story that says 80% of military personnel are performing police duties in 36 states. Says that, that's from Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabo, said it yesterday, that we expect the military to be everywhere. The duty of protecting within the border is for the police. the military is stretched, and we are putting pressure on them to now secure every location. Those are police duties, and that military is on ground in 36 states trying to do what police should be doing. Essentially, we're back to equip the police so that the military can focus on what is meant to do.
Or recruit more police, we need more.
Obviously.
That is all we can take on Front Page. It's Thursday. When we come back, we're bringing our friends from Rollard Properties. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.